Hello, welcome to another Bright Lights Moment. Today we're going to talk about two different kinds of women, and I want you to ask yourself, which kind of woman am I? Proverbs 21, verse 19 reads, "It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman." Chapter 26 and verse 21 mentions this lady again. "As coals are to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife." And then chapter 27 and verse 15, "A continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike." And then finally Romans 2 verses 8 through 9 mentions contentiousness. "But unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation and wrath, tribulation and anguish, upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Gentile." Now there's another woman mentioned in Proverbs that's very similar to the contentious woman. Chapter 21 and verse 9 says, "It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house." The contentious woman is one that is quarrelsome. She sows strife, discord, and she's a brawler. She's always fighting, she's arguing, she's quick to contradict you, quick to tell you you're wrong, quick to never approve of anything you do, and you can't do anything right for her. A contentious person has strife, does not obey the truth, and obeys unrighteousness. They kindle strife, they're annoying, non-stop, always there. They cause depression. They're not pleasant to be with. They're great at picking fights. They also make themselves the boss. They set their own rules. They want to be in charge. But God says a contentious woman will receive his wrath and will receive tribulation and anguish. That's pretty severe. In the scriptures, I think there is a contentious woman mentioned. Her name is Jezebel. She was very quick to set her own rules. She wanted to be the boss. And she was very quick to eliminate anyone who stood in her way. Eliminate as in kill them. She also sent many threats to others who she would have killed if she could get their hands on them. She was disobedient to God. She obeyed unrighteousness as a Baal worshiper. She brought curses on her husband's head. Her husband was Ahab, King Ahab of Israel. And at the end, she met God's wrath and his indignation. She was thrown from a window, trampled by horses, and eaten by dogs, in fulfillment of God's prophecy. Now, in the book of Proverbs, there is another woman mentioned. Proverbs chapter 12, and verse 4 says, "A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones." This lady is mentioned again over in chapter 31. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? We've all read through that beautiful portion of scripture. I'm not going to read it all to you, but please read it. Proverbs 31, 10 through 31. And it lists the qualities and behaviors of a virtuous woman. I'm just going to summarize them for you here. Virtuous means full of wealth, virtue, valor, strength, and activity. It is often in company with armed forces. It speaks of being able to defend your nation. You have an army, a ready group of men, a ready band to fight and defend. It speaks of having might and power and riches. All of that comes with virtue because you're upright before the Lord. The virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, as Proverbs 12 states. And Proverbs 31 shows that she's trustworthy, she's diligent, she's thrifty, she makes wise use of her money, she has physical strength, she's generous, very prepared, she's also beautiful, she gives honor to her husband and to her family, she's full of wisdom and kindness. Interestingly, she cares for her household too. She's very diligent to serve the poor and the needy, but you see her caring for her own household also. And she fears the Lord. Those are the qualities of a virtuous woman. In the scriptures, we do have a virtuous woman. Her name is Ruth. It's in Ruth chapter 3, verse 11. Boaz says to her, "We know that thou art a virtuous woman, So I want to briefly compare her and show you that she has the qualities from Proverbs 31, 10 through 31. She cared for her household. She was very diligent in the fields collecting barley and providing for her family. She won her mother-in-law's heart. Her mother-in-law was a very bitter woman. She won her heart back to the Lord through consistent kindness, her fear of the Lord, her faithfulness, her obedience. Boaz saw Ruth's faithfulness and her trustworthiness, and he wanted to marry her. She feared the Lord and showed humility. So which one of these women are you like? In my young life, I found I was a very bossy young lady, and at that time I realized it caused my brothers to not want to be around me. They preferred to be away and play somewhere else, but as I worked on that character trait, I found that I became wanted by all my brothers. They all wanted to play with me. I also found that I was terrible at losing in arguments, and God taught me, you're going to lose in the argument, you need to learn not to argue. So through that, He taught me to be humble, He taught me to lose, turn the other cheek, and be slow to anger. I hope that you're not a contentious woman. Take some time to think about it.